Hey guys, what is up? Austin here, aka Bowtie Guy 97. Got another video for you guys today, but before we get started, a couple things I want to talk about. The first is, if you've watched Street Speed 717, Guitar Armageddon, Dirty Max Jack, any of those guys up there in PA, you know that they do YouTube callouts. I've been to two of them up in Pennsylvania, and I didn't make it to the last one. Now, I know I've got a lot of subscribers down in the Carolinas, and I see that they're going to be doing a call out down in North Carolina, June 23rd, Saturday, June 23rd, and in Benson, North Carolina. I think it's at Gallet Motorsports Park. Sorry if I said any of that wrong, but that's really not that far away from me, and actually I'm going to be even closer to North Carolina that weekend already. It's like a 3-hour drive, and it's a lot better than 5 up north. I hate traveling north, but I'll travel south all day. It doesn't bother me. So that's really not that far for me to travel, and what I'm wondering is, if I go, would there be a lot of my subscribers there? You know, I would just go for my own enjoyment, and I may very well be, but I'm just curious, if I do go, would any of you guys be there? Because I haven't gone to an event. I've met some people at some of the things I've done, but it'd be cool to travel somewhere and meet a bunch of you guys at the same time. And it seems like a pretty decent sized event to do it at, especially given you guys have told me before that you're down in that area. So drop a comment down below, let me know. I'd appreciate it. But enough about that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with today's video. Alright guys, so today's video, if you've read on the title, is we're going to be talking about the Toyo Open Country RT. Now, I've done several other tire reviews on this channel, and usually have pretty good response out of them, and there's been several people that have been wanting a review on the RTs. I usually do not do a tire review until I do a couple thousand miles with a tire, so I know what I'm talking about, and I mean what I'm talking about. But I've had these tires now for about going on 5,000 miles, I think. So I've got a pretty good idea on all the conditions that they go well in. I did do a video on them in the snow, but I was going to do a full review after I drove around with them for a while. So here is today's full review video on them. And I did all my research. I got kind of roasted on one video, the comparison I did, because I did not know the prices of the tires. I did my research this time. I know exactly what these tires cost. So I promise you I'm going to be correct today in all my stats. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the specifics of these tires. Now, if you notice here, RT tires are a little bit different than a mud terrain tire. They tend to have a kind of a hashed marking to them. They seem to be a little bit closer together in the lug spacing. The reason for that is to cut down on the road noise. You still want to remain aggressive like a mud tire. You still have your big blocks and everything like that, but the spacing between the lugs is tighter in order to cut down on all that road noise that a mud tire has. Now, this also creates a lot better road contact. As you see, put your hand there. If I was touching a mud tire, I'd only have small lugs touching my hand, but instead I have a nice contact patch across the whole tire. Now, this allows for great on-road traction, as well as reduces the noise, like I said, being how tight they are on the road and highway. Now, I read and I did a lot of research before I got these tires. Now, I did buy them used. I did a video on that. But the biggest reason I went with a RT tire, which RT stands for rugged terrain, by the way, was how much highway driving I do. Now, this is an older truck, okay? It doesn't have the sound deadening like new trucks have. It's plastic, metal, interior, and that's it. So I hear pretty much every sound that the tires make inside of the cab. Now, if you get a newer vehicle that has more sound deadening, especially the new trucks that seem to have the carpet liners, you don't have the road noise like I have. People were talking about how quiet their mud tires are. Your mud tires are not quiet. This is going to hurt people's feelings. Your mud tires are not any quieter on your truck than they were on mine. You just don't hear them in your cab because you've got more sound deadening than I do. Or you just don't mind the noise at all, but I minded the noise. So that's why I went with the RT here, and they've done their job. They are significantly quieter than the mud tires were. You know, I had the Toyo Open Country MT, so I know how loud those are. Also had the Enturo Trailblade MT, so those were ridiculously, insanely loud, and they were a terrible tire, but we've already had a video on that. These tires are awesome. Rain performance is awesome. You know, I did the video in the snow performance. Snow was awesome. Rain traction is excellent, really, for the tire, the compound. I can really push this tire in the rain, and it always has good traction. Dry traction is amazing as well. And now that it's summertime, I have a boat ramp on my property, and it's just gravel. Now, you're pulling a boat out of the water up a steep ramp. Traction is key. Now, the past mud tires, they would start to spin, and then they would lose their traction. I would dig a hole. I would need to put it in four-wheel auto or four-wheel drive or something like that. These tires, not the case. They seem to have a totally different level of traction. I can remain in two-wheel drive and pull my boat clean up out of the water without any problems and having to go into four-wheel drive. That is a testament of how much better these are than a mud tire. Now, if I was pulling them up a muddy ramp, I'm sure that would be a different story. My mud tires would kick these tires' ass. But that's not what I do. That's gravel performance, and I do a lot of street driving, and these tires are incredible for that. I am very happy with this tire. I didn't mention at the beginning of the video, the tire size is a 35, 12, 50, 22. Of course, we got a 22-inch forged wheel here. Tire height is 35 inches, and the width is 12.5. Now, some people were talking about the tire size sometimes affects traction as well as the width and the stretch on the wheel. That is true, but there's nothing really crazy about this tire. It's not stretched onto my wheel, and it's a 35-inch tall tire, which is, yeah, a tall tire, but it really doesn't change the overall geometry, because the majority of the people that are going to buy this style of tire, the tire is more than likely going to be 33 inches or bigger. I don't know if they even make them in anything smaller than the 33. Now, the price of this exact tire, as you see here, configured in a 35, 12, 50, 22 from Custom Offsets, is $1,938 for a set of 4 shipped free to your door. So you might be able to find a price a little bit lower than that. You might find them a little bit more expensive than that. But there's your price range, $1,900. That comes out roughly to about close to $500 a tire. Now, that is very expensive. There are per se comparable tires that are a little bit less. I know a Toyo is exceedingly less, but I'm not sure that they would perform like these Toyos do. And not to mention, the Toyos also carry a mileage warranty. Mud tires do not. No mud tire carries a mileage warranty. RT tires carry a mileage warranty. So if you're wanting a tire, you want the peace of mind, you want the rugged look, you want the off-road capability, you want to retain your on-road ride quality, road performance, and you need something with a mileage warranty, this is the way to go. So if you are daily drive, maybe your weekend warrior truck, you go off-roading a lot, up in camping trails, stuff like that, but you want to retain all that nice highway driving and around town, I don't think you could possibly go wrong with an RT. I think they are awesome. I think they are better than an all-terrain traction-wise. They may not be as quiet and they may not ride as good, but they are definitely just as good as an all-terrain. I've had General Grabber all-terrain and Nitto Terra Grappler. I had 2 generations of the Nitto Terra Grappler. Those were amazing tires, but I'm going to say that overall these tires beat the Nitto Terra Grappler. Now, Nitto has their own version of this, which is the Nitto Ridge Grappler. I'm not necessarily sure on the price comparison. I would imagine they're pretty close because Toyo and Nitto pretty much match themselves in price. You know, they're side by side in the market share, as it seems. You know, you got Toyo's Open Country AT competes with the Terra Grappler. The RT, of course, competes with the RT of Nitto. Trail Grappler, Toyo Open Country, and then you've got the Mud Grappler from Nitto, which I don't know if you would say the MT competes with that or not, but Nitto makes tires that do compete just up with the Toyo lineup. So the biggest point that I want to get across is for the money, the look, the warranty and everything else that came with the tires, I think they are worth it. I know $2,000 is a lot of money, but if you price a 35-inch tire, they're not cheap. They're going to be expensive. I think you're not going to go wrong with a Toyo RT. They have been an amazing tire. I bought them used, actually. If you checked out that video, I sold the Aturos that were on here, and I got a good deal on these, so I bought them. They had great tread. They still have great tread. They seem to be wearing pretty even. I try to keep the truck aligned and keep the tires rotated the best I can, So everything seems to be going good, and I have no complaints with these tires. If I'm trying to think of a complaint, I'm not sure that I could. They are an amazing tire. I love them. I will say, for anybody that has the Nitto Ridge grapplers, I've heard that they are a little bit quieter. I could believe that by their tread design. I was not knocking Nitto in any way, shape, or form. I love Nitto. I love Toyo. I think they both make a great tire. If I was to buy a tire new, I would have bought the Nitto Ridge grappler. And actually, I think I was going to, but I found a good deal on these, and that's why I ended up with Toyo's. But I've heard that Nitto's tire is great. You know, Toyo's, this one's it's great as well. So that's up to your preference. Maybe read up on some further reviews if you're stuck between the two. But here's your review on the Toyo. I hope you found this video informational. I appreciate you guys checking it out. I'm always open to do different, review videos on different things I do here to the truck. Like I said, the people that were waiting on it, thanks for waiting. Like I said, I want to put some miles on these tires so I understand what I'm talking about. But biggest things to take home, on-road traction, awesome. Wet traction, awesome. Off-road traction, very good. Wear on the tread has been great so far. They still, of course, have a road noise, but they are much quieter than a mud tire, and yes, they do ride better as well. So that's the biggest things I want to get across there. If you're interested in a pair of custom offsets, you can go on there and get them all 4 shipped free to your door. There's other websites. There's a ton of different websites that sell these things. That's just where I was personally going to buy them from, and I found them used. So you can go check them out there. Check out other reviews. I appreciate you guys watching. Hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment down below. Anything you have to say about these or maybe another tire. Also let me know about that call out. I appreciate you guys watching. Take care. Have a great day.